Relapse had some dark songs that left fans wondering Eminem's state of mind when he wrote them, like Same Song and Dance for instance. And since we're in Eminem's milestone year, we'll be listing 5 things we can expect from Relapse 2 if Eminem decides to make a sequel in 2019. Kamikaze is filled with references of Eminem stating that he's going back to the old him, and he plays on metaphors that revolve around the idea of him using a game. He's referred to this in The Ringer and even more recently in Rainy Days, where Eminem stated, "This might be a good time to put woke me to rockabye. I've got the bottle of NyQuil right here." Since Eminem admitted that he abused NyQuil in the past, this is all a metaphor since Eminem has been clean for 10 years now, but the process of going back to his old ways after a period of improvement is the definition of relapse, and we've been talking about the possibility of the Slim Shady LP2 happening, but what about Relapse 2? Relapse is going to be 10 years in a few weeks, and this was also a Slim Shady album at its core, and if you're a huge Eminem fan, now's a great time to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. At number 1, expect new pop stars to fall for the charms of Slim the Reaper and regret it moments later on this one. In Relapse that released in 2009, Lindsay Lohan and Britney Spears were victims of Slim Shady in Same Song and Dance, and if we get to Relapse 2, best believe some new pop stars are gonna end up in Slim Shady's freezer. But who's gonna end up on his plate first? If I were to take a good guess without thinking too much, probably Ariana Grande. Same Song and Dance wasn't just a mindless song about a serial killer, but was also a metaphor for how fame consumes pop stars, and on Relapse 2, my guess is we'll get something similar. At number 2, don't expect accents to return. Many criticisms Relapse got were focused on the accents on the album. I'm part of the minority that didn't find the accents annoying, but maybe it's because I'm not American or something. I thought they were alright, but since the majority of people share the opinion that it was a negative for the album, we shouldn't expect accents in Relapse 2. And even Eminem stated in Recovery and Not Afraid that he's not going back to the accents. And even in more recent interviews has spoken about the accents on Relapse, so this one's a given if we get a Relapse 2. At number 3, expect outrage based on the lyrical content of the album. It's 2019 and outrage on social media has become a culture in the Western world especially. In fact, there are people who log on Twitter each morning looking for the next thing to pick on and scream outrage. All it takes is for Eminem to kidnap Selena on the spiritual successor of Same Song and Dance, or describe his murderous ways in Music Box Part 2 for us to get articles about how music encourages violence against a particular gender in the West. Jesse Reyes murdered Eminem in Good Guy, but there was no outrage on the internet, but Love the Way You Lie back in 2010, even when outrage culture wasn't as strong, resulted in countless articles about how Eminem is encouraging domestic violence with his music. I wonder why we didn't get articles about Jesse taking out Eminem. At number 4, expect more tracks produced by Dr. Dre. Although Dr. Dre and Slim Shady were the executive producers on Kamikaze, Dr. Dre didn't actually have a hand in producing any of the individual tracks that appeared on Kamikaze. So of course, even one song produced by Dr. Dre on Relapse 2 is already more than the number of songs Dr. Dre produced on Kamikaze. In Relapse, for instance, Dr. Dre produced nearly all the tracks on the album, and one song produced by Dre on Relapse sequel is already more songs produced by Dre than on Kamikaze. At number 5, it will outsell Kamikaze and Revival combined. This is a bold prediction of how successful a Relapse 2 could be, but you need to realize that woke Eminem is the reason Eminem sales declined so much in his recent albums, especially in the United States. There's a huge divide right now because of politics, and the farther Eminem moves away from this, the closer it'll be to achieving the success of albums like MMLP2. All a Relapse 2 will need to outsell both albums combined is positive reviews from fans, not critics, fans, and also a surprise strategy, but this time with preparation to release in more markets around the world simultaneously, and this will guarantee a more successful launch than Kamikaze or Revival. Those are 5 things we can expect if a sequel to Relapse is released in 2019, and leave your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this. ET signing out.